This is the Tudor Black Bay Harrods Special Edition, a watch that could only be purchased in London at the luxury retailer Harrods when it was released back in 2017. That was the case until sometime last year when it was made available to purchase online. What was once a hard timepiece to get your hands on can now be delivered to your door with a click of a button. Does that make the watch any less appealing, or will this Tudor still be a collectible down the road? Let's have a closer look. This Tudor Black Bay Harrods edition is unique to the 41mm Black Bay lineup. It has special accents exclusive to Harrods with its iconic shade of green on the bezel, the water depth rating, and on the tip of the second hand. It also has a special engraving on the case back with the watch's production number. What's also unique is that the unit of measurement in the depth rating has been flipped so that the feet come first and meters come second. A cool little Easter egg I didn't know about prior to handling this watch. The reason for this upon my research is because historically England used imperial measurements as opposed to metric. The watch comes in at 41mm in diameter with the bezel sitting flush with the sides of the mid case. The bracelet has the controversial faux rivets, which I personally don't mind. It is a 22mm lug width that tapers down to 18mm and jumps up to 20mm at the clasp. Thickness is a whopping 14.7mm and an easy to turn screw down crown of 8mm. The spec that stands out the most is the 14.7mm in thickness. That's a pretty hefty watch if you ask me, especially for a time-only movement with only 200 meters of water resistance. Why Tudor decided to make this watch on the thicker side is beyond me. Perhaps Tudor thought this model needed to have a certain heft to it at the time, and it's hard to believe that the in-house movement had anything to do with it. After all, the revised Black Bay 41 with a master chronometer has the same MT5602 movement, and Tudor has managed to shave off about a millimeter in thickness. Another issue I have with this watch are the 4 permanent links to the bracelet. For people with smaller wrists such as myself at 6 3/4 inches, it'll be hard to size up the bracelet to have the clasp sit centered on the underside of your wrist. This was the exact complaint I had with the Rolex Explorer 16570, where if you wanted to make the bracelet shorter, your only option was to shorten the 12 o'clock side of the bracelet, including the micro adjustments. But that's just a small pet peeve of mine. Aside from those 2 issues of mine, the watch looks extremely classic and timeless. The gilt accents along with the aluminum bezel insert and matte finish dial all project a warm, subtle tone that doesn't scream at you like some of the watches from its big brother. Despite the fact that the watch has these olive green accents, I feel it remains highly versatile due to the subtlety and the warmth of the watch. I can see this thing fitting in well in any situation, whether it be the boardroom or at the beach, or just a casual night out on the town. The watch and bracelet is mostly brushed except from the profile where it's all polished. The crown is extremely easy to manipulate because of its 8mm size, though the same can't be said with the bezel. The action is great with its unidirectional 60 clicks. It is smooth and tactile, however, it is extremely thin and sits near flush to the mid-case, so it's hard to grip at times. I must say that the more I look at it, the more I see how black, green, and gilt accents work well together. It definitely stays true to its vintage vibes. And from what I've seen from its big brother Rolex, the last few green sports watches have all been quite the opposite. Overall, if you've got the wrist to wear this watch, I think it'll be a future collectible. My suspicion tells me that this watch will eventually be discontinued, given that the new Black Bay has seen some upgrades in 2023. So if you've been eyeing one for a while, maybe it's time to make that purchase. So what do you all think about the Tudor Black Bay Harrods edition? Is the hype over, especially that it's available online? Or is this still one of the better Black Bay models to own? Thanks for watching.